Hello gorgeous plant people, welcome back to Rooting Mindfully. My name is Yana, and today we are going to talk about the 5 habits that are ruining your plant collection, so stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I just wanted to make a different kind of video. I've been reading you guys' comments, and these are comments that were left on my houseplant tour as well as other videos on my channel. And I just got to thinking of 5 habits that are ruining our plant collection. And this is, just across the board, habits that I've had to learn as well as habits that I want to, share with you guys, because honestly, I've been collecting plants for about 2 or 3 years, and it took me all of this time to learn these habits and to understand that this is what has held my plant collection back. And if I had learned this stuff sooner, then my plant collection could have looked so much better. But I just want to save you guys some time and just let you know what I think are some habits that are ruining our plant collection, so that hopefully we don't all keep making the same mistakes. But let's get into it. So the first habit that I'm going to say that is ruining our plant collection is having the gotta have it all mentality. And yes, I am referencing Pokemon. If you know what Pokemon is and you were, a Pokemon collector back in the day, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a mentality of just saying that, oh, you gotta have this plant, you gotta have that plant, and you don't need all these plants to make your plant collection look great. I mean, everyone's not gonna be able to grow a Philodendron melanochrysum or Philodendron Birkin or, certain type of Monstera, or even for me, Pothos. Like, we don't all have to have the same plants that other people have, and that's what makes each other's plant collection so unique and interesting. If we all had the same plant collection, it would not be interesting at all. Plants are a personal choice, they're a personal preference. It also depends on what kind of environment you have, and it should be unique. And if we all try to go out and buy all the plants that each other has, 1, it's going to be very expensive. 2, you're going to really increase the demand even higher than it is, which further increases the price. And 3, it just won't be interesting anymore. If everyone has the same kind of plants, then what's the uniqueness in that? But what I mean is, just like with any other thing, you don't have to have the same thing that everyone else has. We don't all need that, Prada bag or Gucci bag, especially if you can't afford it, or if you can't take care of those plants. So I just wanted to make that my first point, is that we all don't have to have this mentality of having every plant that each other has. That's what makes everything unique and special. And the second habit that is ruining your plant collection, or our plant collection, is just not buying plants that fits our environment. And I know I keep saying this, and I'm gonna keep saying it over and over, but if you buy a plant that you can't take care of, or that doesn't work in your home, say if you have north-facing windows and you bring home a fiddle, that fiddle is not going to do well. Fiddles are notoriously known for needing higher light. Same with cacti. But if you buy a plant that it's not going to fit in your environment, already in your mind that it's not going to end well, so why even just do it? Not unless you're going to go out and buy all these grow lights. I mean, you would have to buy a lot of grow lights to bring up a low light area to a high light area. Well, you could use lights like Sansi lights or things like that, but if you're not able to make the investments to tweak your environment, and if you don't naturally have those environments, the requirements that the plant needs, then it's just easier to stay away from that plant. It would just make it easier on yourself in the long run, as well as to make it easier on your wallet, because we are seeing that yes, you can buy these grow lights and change the environment of your home, but as you can see, these grow lights and these humidifiers are also getting more costly because they are stepping their game up. These companies are competing each other to have a spot in the industry. So just to put that out there, that if you do buy a plant that doesn't fit in your environment, you will have to shell out the added funds to go ahead and make that plant a plant that will be able to fit in that environment. And the third habit that is ruining your plant collection is ignoring the current status of your plant collection. Now, I don't really talk about this one too much, but I do personally have a rule. If my plant collection, I have mentioned this in another video, but if my plants, about 5 or more plants are struggling, I don't buy any more plants, because that is a recipe for disaster. If you have 5 or more plants that are struggling, even you could probably make it like 7. I wouldn't go more than 10, but if you have a couple plants that are struggling, it is probably not a good idea to bring any more plants into your home, especially any new plants that are from a different family than what you're currently used to. So if you have 5 plants that are struggling and you go out and you buy some alocasias and you don't have any alocasias, it's probably not a good idea to do that, because one, you already have plants that need your attention, and plants that you probably need to focus on, their care, and to see why they are struggling. Why are they dying? Are you overwatering it? Are you underwatering it? Do you have the wrong kind of fertilizer? Is the fertilizer too strong? You need to figure out why that plant is not doing well, or those plants are not doing well. So if you add another kind of plant that you're not familiar with, you're only making it harder for yourself, because now not only do you have those plants to try to troubleshoot, but now you're bringing in a whole new plant into your home. You may or may not have researched that plant, and now you have to learn you have to do a whole new learning curve with that plant. So you see how that kind of just adds an extra stressor into your plant collection? It's not worth it. It's easier just to work on the plants that are currently struggling in your collection, and then once those are kind of, are doing better, maybe you can bring the number that are struggling down to about 2 or something like that. Then you could, go out and buy a new plant, and then that way your stress levels are so much easier to deal with your plants, because if you have struggling plants and you're having new plants in your other plants, it just gets to be really overwhelming. You are spreading yourself thin, because you're gonna have to fix these plants. You got to take care of your main plants, and then you're bringing in new plants. So you see how all that just competes with each other, and then it just can lead you to be really stressed. So you really want to go ahead and just evaluate the current state of this current status of your plant collection. And so that way you can also see that, maybe I just don't need to buy plants for a while, or yes, I'm ready to buy plants because I'm finally able to go ahead and divert my attention from the plants that I have into adding new plants. So I hope that makes sense about that point, but that is habit number 3. And habit number 4, which I get a little often, is keeping plants out of guilt or loyalty. And this is just to say that, a lot of people in the plant community, I don't know why, but it's kind of like taboo for some people to not give away plants, or not to move plants along that are struggling, or just don't fit your environment, or you just don't like anymore. I don't know where this came from, but it's the same thing if you're decluttering your household, if you're decluttering your wardrobe. Say if you can't even if you're decluttering your wardrobe and you have clothes that no longer look good on you, it doesn't fit your body shape, or that color doesn't look good on you, or it just doesn't even fit, like, why would you keep those clothes? The same thing goes for plants. If that plant doesn't fit your environment, that plant doesn't even spark joy, why keep it? There's no need to keep things that doesn't fit you. It's better just to pass it along to someone else who will be able to enjoy it. And I think that we should just make this more normal, because a lot of people just make it seem like you're supposed to just keep a plant forever and ever and ever, but that's not how it always works. There's always, at least for me, there's always a constant rotation in my plant collection. I'm rotating plants in, plants that I might want to try, plants that I really like, and I'm rotating plants out. I'm getting rid of plants that don't fit for me. I'm getting rid of plants that I don't like. I'm getting rid of plants that are not doing well. And that's how it should really be. It's always a cycle, Now you don't have to go crazy and just keep buying plants, and then you're just like, oh, well, I have too many plants, let's just dump them all. But to be modest in the cycle, there's always a cycle. It's the cycle of life. You just, you bring things in your life, you enjoy it for a while, and maybe if you don't enjoy it, you just exit it and maybe give it to someone else to enjoy. But I think we should really make this normal so that people don't feel bad when they are parting with their plant. As well as, this is the same notion of cutting back your collection. So if your collection is getting too big, your plants are getting too big for your space, it's all right to prune your plants back. You don't have to, feel bad about pruning your plants, especially if you want them to look more tidy. If you're not going for, the jungalow, wild plant look, it's okay to trim your plant back. You don't have to feel bad for trimming plants back at all, especially if it doesn't fit your taste. So that's habit number 4. So habit number 5 is not thinking outside the box. And what I mean by this is, you have to think outside the box, especially if you are a person that cannot afford more of the uncommon, like rare house plants. You can only afford common house plants, or maybe house plants that you find at Lowe's and Home Depot. There is an easy way to make your house plants look fine. If you're only able to buy plants from the big box stores, you can still make your collection look amazing. And now I often get comments saying, oh, I have 300 plants, I have 500 plants, I have this many plants, and my reply is, wow, you have a lot of plants. I don't know if I could take care of that many. And so people like to put out a number, say, oh, I have 300 plants, and I'm doing well. And I'm like, that's good, that's nice. But what is really impressive to me is if you have 300 plants and they look amazing. If you have 200 plants and they look amazing. If you have 50 plants and they look amazing. If you have 10 plants and they look amazing. It doesn't matter what the size of your plant collection is. It doesn't matter what type of plants you have. It is the fact that if you have 5 plants and they look amazing, they look like they're thriving, they look like they're healthy, they just look lush. That is the point that I'm trying to make here. It doesn't matter if you have a philodendron verrucosum melanochrysum. It doesn't matter if you have a philodendron adapapawense or an Australian tree fern. The thing that matters is whatever plants you have, however many plants you have, the thing that is impressive is how you take care of them and how they are thriving. So I just wanted to put out there that we can think outside the box. You can have common plants, or if you get tired of common plants, get uncommon versions of that plant. Say you like Syndapsis, you have all the common Syndapsis, maybe get a Syndapsis trubii. Or if you have Monstera, maybe get a more uncommon version of a Monstera. Or just, if you really like Monstera, just get different versions of Monstera. You see where I'm going with this? Just, you have to think outside the box as far as your plant collection, but what it ties into is the first point is the gotta catch it all mentality. It's the fact that you don't have to have every plant that someone else has. As long as your plant collection looks amazing, your plant collection is thriving, and really you can do that with 5 plants. There's some people on Instagram who show the same couple of plants and their Instagram looks amazing. And that's what's important. It's not what plants you have. It's not how many plants you have. It's what your plants look like. Are they thriving? Are they healthy? And those are the things that if we pay attention to, we can have amazing plant collection. So, like I said, I just wanted to come on and make this video because I was inspired by some of the comments that I've been receiving on my plant collection. No, I don't have every plant that I would ever want. And no, I don't spend a ton of money on plants. As you can see, if you watch my older videos, I import a lot of plants. I never pay full price for a plant, ever, because I can't afford it. So if you can't afford it and you don't have the ability to get certain plants, it's all right. It really is. You just have to be able to buy the plants that you can afford and the plants that you can take care of. So I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel and, you know, like my videos. And if you hit the notification bell and subscribe to my channel, you will be notified every time I post a new video. But for now, I am going to say goodbye, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.